All right. Hi. So I just made a video for today, but I was thinking about a different thing that I wanted to make another video for. And so here I am making a second video. I guess we can count the first one as yesterday's video or whatever. So I was thinking about regret. I think that a lot of people regret a lot of things. And I think that I have been that person sometimes where I regret a lot of things in my past. But what I was thinking was just there's really no point in regretting anything ever at all. I don't think there's even any exception with that. I think that all that matters is, are you willing to change, and are you willing to use that as a lesson and as a way, as a avenue to grow from. Even if it's murder, I think if you murdered somebody, it's probably healthy to have some regret on some level. But really, I don't think that it should matter as long as you're willing to make a difference and understand that you had made a mistake and that now you need to change. I think that that's really all that matters, even in as extreme of a case as murder. I believe that is still, or it's a bunch of deer. Wow, that's kind of cool. I don't see very many deer in Fort Collins. So I was thinking about just kind of my past and how in the past, I think that I've regretted things from my past. Does that kind of make sense? And I've changed my mindset on that. So now I don't really regret anything, because I've definitely I've made a lot of progress. I've really figured out a lot about myself, and I've grown a lot from who I used to be. And so 3, 4, 5, 6 years ago, whatever, even just a couple years ago, I was not perfect. I was making so many mistakes, and I was doing so many things that I probably shouldn't be doing. And not that I'm perfect now. I'm certainly not perfect, and I never will be perfect. But I've made a lot of progress since those days, and it's because I did so much fucking up back then. I made so many choices that were just so unhealthy and so detrimental and so irresponsible and just belligerent and rude and mean and destructive and negative. I just made so many of those choices that while, yes, I look back and I am tempted to think, oh, I wish I didn't do that. I should never have done that. Why did I? If I can go back in back in a time machine, I would totally change that. Part of me is tempted to think that way, but a more powerful, more significant part of me thinks, well, no, leave that as it is, because that's exactly what made you into the person that you are now today. If I hadn't done those things, if I hadn't done so much fucking up back then there's no way I can guarantee you that I wouldn't be who I am today. The reason that I am the person, and again, I'm not perfect, but I'm improving, and I'm becoming a better person, and that comes through not doing things right and making mistakes the first time and ruining things, and just, I think making mistakes is the key, and realizing and becoming more conscious that was a mistake, and that, now I know not to do that again, and now I understand I need to change for the future. I think that so many of us just get caught in dwelling on the past and wishing we hadn't done this and wishing we hadn't done that and wishing that we did do this and wishing that we did do that. We just wish and wish and wish and hope and just want things to have been different in the past. But the reality is, you're not ever going to go back there and change that. It is the way it is now, and it's for a reason. Those things happened back then to teach you something. And as long as I think that you're more conscious and more willing to listen to those lessons and become more willing to just invoke change in your life, then I think that that's really all that you can do, and that's a healthy path to be on. It's just, wow, there's like 12 turkeys. Dang, there's some wild turkeys right there. That's kind of cool. That's awesome. So Yeah, so it's not healthy to get stuck in wanting to change the past. I think so many of us, if you just like talk to your friends, there's just regret is just such a big part of people's lives, it seems like, and they just so desperately want to go back into the past and change these things, and like even for, you know, like an awkward situation with a girl, they wish they had said something else, or they wish that they had done something else, or they wish that they had studied harder for a test, or they wish that they had done this, or they wish they hadn't crashed their car. There's just so many, infinite amount of things that you could potentially think about going back and changing, but the reality is that's not beneficial. It sounds beneficial, it sounds like that would help you, like let's just say you blew $1 million on a whole bunch of cars, and now you have like 7 cars in this massive garage and whatever. Let's just say you blew away $1 million, and now you have this stuff, but now you're lacking other things too now, because you spent so much money on this one thing, or these few things. You might be tempted to think, oh, I wish so badly I could just go back and not have spent that $1 million, and instead, you know, invested that into something else, or have instead put that towards my family or towards whatever. But again, if you did change that, then you wouldn't have learned the lesson, and somehow you would have made the same mistake somewhere else down the road. You know, for a long time, so with this girl I was seeing for a while, kind of the thing that happened that, and I might have made a video on this already, but the thing that caused us to split up was we were climbing together. She was lead climbing. Normally I'm the one who does the lead climbing, you know, the first person to go up and place gear and stuff. Normally I'm the one to do it, but she was doing that this time, and she fell and she hit her knee, and she injured her knee, and it was kind of all swollen, and she got kind of upset, and that kind of became this symbol for her in her mind that we weren't right for each other. You know, we weren't meant to be together, and it was because of many different things, but the knee was kind of like the indicator, I guess, like the main indicator that told her that. And so that's what happened. And for a long time I was kind of mad at that happening. I just wished that I had been the one to lead climb, and I wish that I had been the one to take the fall, or wish that the knee just didn't happen. I wish that for a while I used to wish that just didn't happen at all. But now I understand better now, and I'm still working on it. But I understand better now that if she hadn't hurt her knee then, something else would have come up. I mean, that was destined to happen. It had to happen, and it was going to happen. It was part of the universe's plan. We weren't meant to be together, and that's kind of how it came out, was through that knee injury. And again, I just wish that hadn't have happened for a long time. But the reality is that would have happened. Something else would have happened. You know, so it's not healthy to go back and wish for that knee injury to not have happened. It doesn't change anything. It was all part of the plan, and I learned from it. You know, so I've become a different person, and I've had a few realizations, I guess, because of that. So I guess I'm kind of losing my train of thought now a little bit. But anyway, regret, I don't think you should regret anything. All that you, I think, need to ask for is just being willing to change, being willing to make a change. So I guess that's really all that I wanted to say. Yeah. All right. Well, I guess we'll see you tomorrow. Roger out.